Okay, so now for my next trick. Um, I bought a project pinball machine. It's going to be a long-term pinball machine. It's a Williams Disco Fever from 1978, I think, maybe 77. And it is missing all of the boards and the master display board and some of the displays. So I've ordered boards on eBay. Someone had a set of flash boards, so I bought those, and I'll be fixing those up. And I bought this for the displays. This is called the Wolffpack kit. It's by David Wolff. There's his address. Here's his address. I ordered off of wolffpack.com or something like that. You can also get them on eBay. It costs $10 more on eBay, though, because of fees, I suppose. But so what this is, of course, is an LED kit for the old Williams System 3 through 6 pinball machines. So this would work from Disco Fever through something like Firepower. And so Wolffpack Technologies, and it comes with all 5 displays. It comes with the master display and the 4 satellite displays. And so some parts, some standoffs, so chips and capacitors there and standoffs. And here are the satellite, the small boards, if you will, the small display boards. And then the large master display board is there. And the LEDs that this kit comes with are in this black thing here, I suppose. Yeah. I ordered the red set because it was the cheapest of the choices. They also have yellow, white, blue, green, different colors. I think there's 6 different colors. For some reason, red is $10 cheaper than all of them, so that's what I got. And that's also closer to what would be originally in the game. All right, so I'm going to be assembling these, and even though I may not use these, I bought them just in case I need them for this project. I have a set of plasma displays for that machine in a box somewhere. I just need to find it, and if they work, make sure the high voltage power supply, the high voltage from the power supply, I should say, is good and clean, and the displays work good. Then I could give the buyer. I'm gonna be selling this machine, so keep an eye out for it if you're interested. Whoever wants it could get their choice. Maybe not sell the machine though. I'm looking to trade. I would trade for a slightly newer machine or a slightly better machine that doesn't work. Get this one running, trade for a non-working machine is kind of what I'm thinking. Or just sell this one and get some cash and then buy the next one and do it that way. All right, well, let me go ahead and start putting this thing together, and when I'm done, I'll show you the final result. I don't really see any reason to videotape me soldering a bunch of stuff, like, you know, a couple hundred different things I got to solder. All right, thanks. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm working on the slave displays, the satellite displays, and all you install are the LEDs on that. Okay, so I recommend, or I'm doing it this way anyway, I don't know if I can recommend it or not, install all the displays at once and only solder the adjacent or the diagonal, the two diagonal joints. Okay, just get them attached so that they're not flopping around. Once you've done that, then go back, put your finger down, push firmly, and retouch those 2 solder blobs, retouch the 2 pins that were soldered so that the display will snap up and press against the board. So I'm doing that for all the slave displays, and I'll also do that for the master display as well. But just thought I'd point out what I'm doing. Just seems a little bit easier. Also, when you install the displays, make sure that the dots are pointing towards the connector. That J1 connector, see right there? All those dots on the displays, that dot right there needs to be closest to the display. All right, let me continue. Okay, so I've gone through the process several times to make sure that these were flush. And now, after you've checked and you visually inspected it, make sure that all the pieces are touching the PCB. Then now you can go in and then flow the solder on the remaining pins. But so what you're doing at first though is after you've secured with 2 pins soldered, go back with your soldering iron, push down, touch it, and it'll snap. It'll make a little snapping noise as these are pushed down onto the board. And then after you've done it so many times that it doesn't snap anymore, then you go in and you check and you make sure that they're all lined up. And that's pretty much what it's supposed to look like. All right, that's it for now. I'm going to continue. Okay, so I've got all of the soldered, all the slave displays soldered up. And so got them all secure and pushed down all the way to the PCB. And take a look at the solder joints. I haven't cleaned it up yet. That's going to be the next step. Those look pretty good. I might touch up one or two as I see an inconsistent flow. So next I'm going to get some alcohol and clean that residue off. And after that, then we install these little guys, these bezels on top of the LEDs like that. Actually, I've got to remove all of the tapes. These have tape on. You got to pull the tape off before you attach the bezels. So let me keep going. Okay, I got all of the slave displays together with the bezels on. And that rubbery stuff is real sticky, but it does let you work with it. And the rubber kind of compresses, so it helps you center the holes over each of the displays. And so the backs have been cleaned up. All the solder joints look really good. Look at one more. All right, so now the final step, or the final thing to do, is to put the master display together. It's got 4 LEDs for that, or 7 segment displays, I should say. And this one's going to have chips and capacitors and resistors and the displays. And this one, I will install sockets for the chips probably. So that will be the next step, but I'm going to take a break because it's getting late. I'll do this tomorrow and we'll just continue the video then. Okay, it's the next evening and I'm going to put the master display together now. My attack plan on this will be to install the chips first. Okay, all the dip chips first, then install the socket or the displays, and then all the little capacitors and resistors. I'm going to do it in that order. And the reason is I'm going to want to push these chips down flat all together when I'm soldering it. And since they're shorter than these guys, I'm going to want to do the same thing after these are all installed and flat. I'm going to install these and press down and get them flat. And then the resistors and capacitors aren't as critical. I just need these to be flat as well as the chips. So let me get started and I will be back. All right, so I'm getting all the chips organized and got a part list here. So there's basically 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of ICs. And they did not supply IC sockets. And I thought about it and I decided I'm not going to install sockets. Not for any reason except that the sockets you get nowadays aren't the greatest quality. So I think I'll just solder these in, and these chips will never die probably in my lifetime. The semiconductor industry is pretty good as long as you've got name brand chips. Like these aren't Chinese knockoffs. Let's see, what does this say? I can't tell. Oh, is it Texas Instruments? I just can't see what it is. It looks like Texas Instruments. Let me get another magnifying glass. Yeah. So all of these are TI chips. And since I worked at TI for 25 years, I should trust them. I should know that they're good quality. Now, that doesn't mean they're not rip-offs. China likes to put fake emblems, fake icons or fake symbols on chips and sell them, you know, as high quality parts, but I doubt that's the case. Okay, so the only way to know where these chips go is from the parts list. It tells you the locations, and so I'm going to install these based on that. Now, the only criticism I have of this board is you'll notice these chips, the pin ones are pointing up on that side, and on this side they're all pointing down. Why did they do that? I mean, the only reason you would do that is the routing is a lot easier. And I have done that before on very dense routing, but this doesn't look that dense to me. I think I would have put the extra effort in and picked one or the other. probably these, have them pointing up, and so that's consistent. So if you get one of these kits, make sure you pay attention to that and install these correctly, because it ain't gonna like it if it's in backwards. I can guarantee you, if it doesn't knock it out immediately, it'll get super hot. Anyway, let me get these installed. I'll be back. I got all the chips installed, but you'll notice I put a couple of sockets here only for these guys. Why did I do that? Well, if you take a close look at it, they're China chips. Clearly labeled made in China, except I got it upside down apparently. Let's see. Come on, focus. Come on. Let me try zooming in like this. China. I don't trust China chips, so I installed sockets for those. Everything else was Texas Instruments. And I think these were on. Nope, those are Texas Instruments. These down here then are on chips. On IC, I think is what they are. It's kind of like NTE or ECG. See that on? Don't know if those are made in China, but I give those a little bit more credibility than the ones that are clearly marked as Chinese. So anyway, that's just my personal choice. I don't trust these. And so they got socketed. All right, so next I need to install the displays. Let me zoom out. I need to install the displays next. And then after that, it'll be the resistors and capacitors. I'll be back. Okay, got it all together. That's what it looks like. Look at the back. Got all the solder cleaned up pretty good. Looks pretty good. So this took about, I guess 2 to 3 hours total time to build. I didn't rush it. Took my time. Didn't want to make any mistakes. And if I was to critique this board, I would say what I said before. Make sure all the chips are pointing in the same direction. And I didn't mention this previously, but the images for the LEDs, they should put a dot on the silk screen for the board to indicate where the dot goes for these guys. That would remove any confusion on how to install these. The dots on these I put downward with the connector going up, which is the opposite of the slave. Because this should mount like this in the game board, or in the back box of the pinball, with the connectors all pointing upward. So therefore the dots on these LEDs, or on the seven segment displays, need to be downward. These are actually eight segments because it's got the dot too, but it's not used, I don't guess. So anyway, that's this completely finished. And all in all, if it works, it's great. And I don't know, it's going to be a while before I get to test these. The pinball machine is still in my car. I haven't unloaded it yet because I don't have room to work on it yet. But that will be a future video, and I will put these in there and test it out. I'm sure it'll work just fine. All right, well, that's it for this video. If you're considering buying this, it's the Wolffpack Technologies Williams System 3 through 6, and they also have all the other games too. You know, Williams, Bali, D to East, everything, all the different ones. They even have it for bowlers and stuff. So if you got display needs, you might consider this. It is a do-it-yourself kit. And that you do that if you want to save money and do the work yourself, or they have them pre-assembled as well, and it's maybe $100 more or something. I don't know. Might be worth it. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I appreciate you watching as usual.